Let's look at how we can draw a straight line graph just using the y-intercept and gradient. So say we had our equation y equals -1/2 x take away 3. Well, let's first of all go back and identify what the different parts are. So the number by itself, that is your y-intercept. Okay, so that y-intercept tells us where it is going to cut through our y-axis. And in this case, we've got a y-intercept of -3. So that means on our y-axis, if I go down to -3, that is where the line is going to cut through the axis. Then the second part of it is looking at what the gradient is. And so the gradient is always the number that's in front of the x variable. And in this case, we've got a gradient of -1/2. Now let's also think we've got that formula for our gradient of m, which is our rise over our run. So that means from this point, I'm going to start at that coordinate I know. I start from that y-intercept. And from there, I want to go down by 1, and I want to go across by 2. And that takes me to the next coordinate point. Then I draw myself a line through those points. And that's all there is to it. So your gradient is always your rise over run. Your y-intercept is the number by itself. Let's then have a look at a second example. Okay, example number 2. What if I have the equation y equals 60x plus 200? Same thing. The number by itself, that is where it's going to cut your y-axis. So that's your y-intercept. And the number in front of x is your gradient. So, how are we going to draw that? Well, first of all, we get our axes set up. And we're going to start, our y-intercept has to start at 200. So I'm going to go up 50, 100, 150, 200. So I'm going to go up in 50s that way. And that's where I want to start, as I'm starting at 200. Now, what does a gradient of 60 mean? Well, remember your gradient, I can take any number and I can divide it by 1. And our gradient is also our rise over our run. So as long as I do this axis the same, so 50, 100, oh sorry, doing that wrong, 100, 200. So from there, what I want to do is I want to go across by 1 unit and down by, sorry, not down, up by 60 units. So there's my 50, so 60 is going to be just above there, and there is my line.